Confident, confident, confident. I can be confident, 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 confident. I can be confident at work.
Hello and welcome to the Confident at Work podcast. I'm your host and your confidence coach, Anna Manning, and you'll have to excuse the audio today, right? The sound isn't as good as normal. I'm traveling, I'm staying with family, and I didn't bring my massive microphone with me. So I hope you'll forgive me for the audio, but we have a solid episode for you today. And I want to talk to you about self-management. I talk all the time to you from different angles and in a million different ways about the same topic, feeling confident at work. And right now, the thing I feel like I'm hammering home again and again, every time I do a workshop, every time I do a keynote, every time I go and do a training session with someone, is the fact that you are managing yourself all of the time. Maybe I've been thinking about it because I'm doing quite a bit of leadership development at the moment. And that means I'm helping people think about how to be better managers, how to be better leaders, introducing them to loads of tools and ideas, and just generally helping them to manage other people better, right? Because we know in business, in organizations, that it is a good idea to be able to lead and manage people well. We know that when you do that, you get better results, you get happier people, you get more profit, you get more impact. Whatever it is you're trying to do, we know that you get more of it if people are well managed and well led. However, a glaringly obvious and seemingly completely missing piece of this puzzle is the fact that nobody appears to have noticed that all of their employees are in fact leading and managing themselves 24/7. You are managing yourself every single day. No matter what job you go to, no matter what industry you work in, no matter where you go with your career. And we all know it's a good idea to do management and leadership development so that you can do it really well. But why do we not know that it's a really good idea to do self-management training so that you can do it really well? Most people know in order to be a really good manager, I've got to be intentional, I've got to do this, that, and the other. But nobody even considers the fact that in order to be a good manager of themselves, the very person who they're managing 24/7, they might want to do it intentionally and they might want to do this, this, and this. Nobody talks about it, nobody thinks about it, and therefore we have this huge, I think, blind spot when it comes to how we feel at work, how effective we are, and certainly when it comes to our confidence. And you'd be forgiven for never having thought about it because no one's probably ever talked to you about it. I bet your HR and OD team have never thought about it. I bet they've never even noticed that they're managing themselves, let alone that you and all of your colleagues are also managing themselves. And they may be doing it really well by chance, but they probably aren't. That's what I want us to talk about today, because I bet that your internal manager could do with a bit of management development training, could do with a little bit of guidance. A few tweaks here and there. I did this exercise recently with a group of women for International Women's Day. And I asked them, what kind of manager do you want? Do you need? And they were able to tell me that I want someone who's respectful. I want someone who supports me. If I make a mistake, I want somebody to help me learn from it and then draw a line. I need someone to give me emotional support on a bad day, right? There was all of these things that they said I need in order to be more confident and more effective. And then I was like, great. So you know what you need. How do you manage and lead yourself? Do you speak to yourself with respect? Do you give yourself encouragement? Do you draw a line under something and help yourself to learn from it when you make a mistake? And silence, slightly awkward pausing. As people realized the kind of manager that they actually want and they need in the external world was not the kind of manager that they had sitting in their head. And when I distill down the work I do to its essence, this is what we actually change. We don't make you look more confident. We make you feel more confident because something has fundamentally shifted. And for most people, that thing which has fundamentally shifted is the way they manage themselves, is the way they treat themselves, is the way they relate to themselves. When we have poor self-management, you can feel exhausted, drained, anxious, worried, find yourself over-preparing, avoiding things, delaying things, struggling more than you need to. Here's what I found out from working with clients. If you try and build a career without a solid foundation of good self-management, it's like trying to build a skyscraper on marshmallows. Not a great plan. But that's exactly what happens when your foundation, self-management, is weak or poor. You're building on marshmallows. Solid self-management is the solid ground that lets you grow a career with strength and integrity and with confidence. Without it, even success will feel unstable, will feel exhausting, and will be filled with self-doubt. You might try and build up stuff that's crumbling down because you do not have that firm foundation. But that's where you need to start, strengthening that self-management first. And it doesn't matter if you already built your career to the 16th floor. You can still go back now and shore up the foundations that this career is being built on, that your life is being built on. I know now that your confidence can only be as strong as your self-management is solid. If you manage yourself disrespectfully, doubting, have increasingly high standards and little to no acknowledgement, no amount of talent is going to save you from feeling like shit. No amount of technical know-how is going to give you the confidence that you want. Yes, it's great to have the know-how. Yes, it's great to be good at what you do. But if you don't have good self-management, you can't handle setbacks. You can't handle uncertainty. And all of those things come within the course of a career. Instead of doing more, the solution is to manage yourself better. Building your career on strong self-management foundations is like building a house on strong foundations. Even when the wind comes, there's a hurricane, there's a storm, the house can stand strong. All right, it might get shaken, a few tiles might blow off the roof, but it doesn't knock it down. When you build a career on marshmallow foundations, poor self-management, speaking to yourself disrespectfully, having impossible standards, never acknowledging the good stuff that you do, everything will feel shaky. Even the okay days might feel shaky, but you might get away with it. But when the storm comes, when the rain comes, when the wind comes, you're going to be all over the place. So I want you to think this week, if I'm right, and solid self-management is the key to your career success, your career feeling good, to you feeling confident. If I'm right, what do you need to change about the way you manage yourself? If you were to describe the kind of boss who lives inside you, what's their management style? And what impact is that having on you? Then contrast that. Thinking about the best manager you ever had. How did you feel working for them? What did they bring out in you? What did they support? What did they allow? How much more confident did you feel working for them? Someone you know trusted you, respected you, had your back, set you realistic standards, helped you to learn from things that went wrong but didn't berate you for them. Noticed the good things that you did, saw your strengths. It's the kind of manager we all want. But for most of us, it ain't the kind of manager that we get inside unless we are very lucky or very intentional. I didn't get that kind of manager inside. My manager was a straight up tyrant. But not anymore. Now I've been very intentional. That manager inside is extremely helpful, respectful, trusting, Doesn't give me a hard time. Does it wobble on occasion? Yeah, sure. Because I'm constantly putting myself in situations that are not comfortable for me, right? I'm constantly building new stories on the building of my career. I'm up to the 24th floor. Who the hell knows where I'm going to go next? But I know I've got the firm foundations now on which to build. And I know that if one of my foundations gets a bit shaky, I need to come back down. I need to get honest. I need to take a look at it. I need to move that marshmallow and turn it into something stronger. Only then will I be able to build a career that's going to feel good. Only then will I be able to enjoy successes that I've had. Only then will I be able to feel confident at work. And it's the same for you. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, maybe my internal manager could do with a bit of work, maybe they actually need a bit of leadership development, come and work with me. There's 2 ways that you can do that. Sit down with me for private coaching and let us overhaul the way you're managing yourself right now and watch that change how you feel at work. The second is join us inside the Confident at Work membership. It is a year-long membership where you're going to be given all the tools, all the training, and all the coaching support you need to overhaul the way you're managing yourself and watch it change how you feel at work. If you want to feel more confident at work, you need to get this thing right. All right. I will see you in next week's episode. Bye.
Confidence, confidence, confident. I can be confident. Confidence, confidence, confident.